Hello students, welcome to the next lecture of grammar lecture series. In this lecture we are going to cover the method for the simplification of grammar. By simplification of grammar means we need to simplify the grammar production rules by removing all the null production, unit production and the useless symbols from the grammar, as only the effective and unambiguous grammar is required for implementation. So we need to simplify the grammar before using it for any application. So let's start with the lecture. As the grammar sometimes are not optimized, so we can say that the grammar is not simplified or not having the effective production rules. So the grammar is not optimized. That means the grammar may consist of some extra symbols or extra non-terminals or extra production rules. So having these extra symbols and production rules will unnecessarily increase the length of the grammar and may lead to confusion for the grammar. So all these extra production rules and unnecessary symbols must be removed from the grammar, and this process is known as the simplification of grammar. So simplification of grammar means the removal of or reduction of grammar production rules by removing the useless symbols or useless production rules from the grammar. So starting with the simplification process, here are the steps for the simplification of grammar as step 1. So step 1 is removal of null production rules, and step 2 is removal of unit production rule, and step 3 is removal of useless non-terminal or useless symbols from the grammar production rules. So you have to follow these steps in this sequence, in the given sequence only, because if you follow any other sequence, means if you start removing unit production first, then removal of unit production may lead to more null production rules, and then you will remove some null production rule that may lead to the unit production rule. So if you follow the sequence, means after null production you will be removing the unit production, and in the last you are removing the useless symbols, then then the less effort will be required for the simplification process. So my advice is to follow these steps only. Go with the null production removal, and then for the unit production, and then in last you can remove all the useless symbols. So starting with the first step, that is removal of null production, we have already practiced this removal of null production method in the left recursion removal question also. So let's revise the concept. Consider the production rules of this type. Here alpha, x and y are the non-terminals, and alpha and beta are the strings of terminal non-terminal. So if we are having this null production rule in the grammar and we need to remove this null production rule from the grammar, if the grammar is not deriving null, then we need to remove all the null production rules. So here are the steps to remove this null production rule from the grammar. First of all, add the new production rule, means accept the null production rule, as we are removing this null production rule from the grammar. Accept this null production rule, write all other production rule as it is in the grammar, and remove this production rule, as we have to remove this. So remove this production rule from the grammar and write all other production rules as it is in the grammar, as this production rule is having no problem. But now substitute x as null in the right hand side of all production rules. Wherever we have x in the right hand side, put it with the null and write or add the production rule, resulting production rule, to the production rule of the grammar. So after putting null here, if we are putting x as null here, we are getting this as the resulting production rule. So simply add the new rule to the grammar. So this is the new rule from the grammar. So add this production rule from the grammar and remove the null production rule from the grammar, and we'll get this as the resulting grammar. And this grammar is now having no null production rule and having all the alternate of null production rule for the grammar. So we can say that this grammar is the result of the grammar after removing null production rule from the grammar, from this grammar. So let's practice some of the examples for the null production removal. So here is the first example where we have this production rule as A, S, A, B, S, B and null. So here the null production rule is this, S is deriving null. So for removal we have to follow the same process, just write the remaining production rule as it is, means we have to write these production rule as it is, as these production rule are having no problem, but remove this production rule from the grammar. So here is the resulting grammar without null production rule. Now substitute null for the right hand side, means in all the production rule where we are having S as a non-terminal, so substitute S as null and write the and add the resulting rules to the production rules here as. So here after putting S as null in the first rule we are getting double A and here we are getting double B. So simply add these new rules to the grammar and the null is removed successfully from the grammar, and this is the resulting grammar after removal of null production rules. So here is the second example of null production removal from the grammar. So in this grammar we are having two null production rule with S and with A non-terminal. So let's start with removal of these null production rules one by one. So firstly we will be working with this null production rule removal and we are following the same step of the previous example. So just simply write remaining production rule as it is, except this rule we will be writing all other rules as it is. Now substitute S with null in the right hand side of any production rules wherever we have S. So as we can easily analyze that we are having S in only one right hand side for this, so simply write substitute S with null here and the resulting rule we are getting is A here. So by adding this rule we can say that X with null production rule is successfully removed from the grammar and the resulting grammar is this. Now working with the removal of second production rule, that is A derived null. So following the same step, write all other rules except this rule of the grammar. So here are the remaining rules of the grammar. Now we can simply substitute A with null on the right hand side. As we can see we are having only one production rule with A on the right hand side. So simply substitute A with null here and the resulting rule is B. So here this is the resulting grammar after removal of both the null production rules. And now again simplifying the grammar, we can see that this production rule, means this symbol, as we are having no terminating production rule for A non-terminal, so we can say that this production rule is not going to be terminated with any string. So we can say that this production rule is useless here. Okay, so here as A is not deriving any string of terminal, so A is useless here. If A is useless, so this production rule is also useless. So we can easily remove this production rule from the grammar, as if we use this production rule in any sentential form, even then we will not be able to derive any string of terminal. So after removal of this useless production rule from the grammar, the resulting, we can declare that A is useless here. So after removal we are getting this as a simplified grammar, or as a result of removal of null production rule and the following the simplification method. So this is the resulting grammar or simplified grammar for this given grammar. So next step is the removal of unit production rules from the grammar. So unit production rules are of this type, where one non-terminal is rewritten by another non-terminal, and unit production rules create indirection and result into requirement of extra steps. We are unnecessarily rewriting non-terminal with another non-terminal, so we are adding extra step to the grammar by adding the unit production rules. So While deriving any string of terminals, we need not to follow such unit production derivations because they will lead to the extra or unnecessary steps of the derivation. So steps for the removal and detection of such unit productions are as: consider all the variables having unit production rules, as here we have a1 is rewritten by a2 and a2 is deriving a3, and in result a3 is further deriving a4 and a4 will be deriving a5 and so on, and in last an is deriving alpha. So here we are getting the alpha as a terminating sentential form, or we can say the terminating string of terminal non-terminal after so much rewritten or the derivation process. We are getting alpha as a resulting string. So here we have unnecessarily rewrite a1 with a2, then a2 with a3, a3 with a4 and so on, and ultimately we are getting alpha. So we can always replace a1 with alpha as an alternate for these unit production rules. Okay, here all these are variables and alpha is a string of terminal non-terminals. So we can simplify these production rules by removing all these intermediate variables and simply rewriting a1 with alpha in the resulting production rule or the simplified production rule. So here is a simplified production rule corresponding to these n production rules by rewriting a1 with alpha. So let's practice the removal process of unit production with some examples, as here we have this grammar where we have S deriving AA and single A and two unit production with A derive B and B derive X. Now ultimately we are rewriting A with this alpha or this string of terminal non-terminal. So you can follow step by step process, means firstly you can remove this unit production by replacing X with AS and then removing another unit production A derive B by replacing B with AS. Okay, or you can simply rewrite or you can simply remove all these extra step by simply rewriting A with this string. Okay, so we need not to move from A to B, then B to X and then X to AS. We can simply rewrite A with AS and we can skip these extra steps. Okay, so here is a simplified grammar where we have A deriving the same production rules. Now A is directly deriving this final string and we have removed these intermediate steps. Okay, so here is a simplified grammar of this given production rules. Now second example is this, where we are having S derive these production rules and we are having two unit productions as S derive A and S derive B, and ultimately A will be deriving the terminal A and B will be deriving the terminal B. So for the simplification process, we will be replacing S with terminal A and S with terminal B or S with terminal B. So we can replace A with this A and this B with this B to remove the unit production rules and to simplify the grammar, right? So here is a simplified grammar where we have removed the unit productions rule S derives A and S derives B. Now after removing these two unit production rules, we can see that these production rules become useless because there is no production rule that can lead to any sentential form having A and B. So if we are not we cannot derive A and B from the start symbol S, then we can say that A and B are useless production rules or useless symbols for this given grammar. So we can also remove these useless production rules and these useless symbols from the grammar, and this is the simplified grammar after removal of unit production rules from the grammar. So next Our third step is removal of useless or useless non-terminal or useless symbols from the grammar that we have already practiced with removal of null production and the removal of unit production, as the removal of null production and the unit production has introduced useless non-terminal and symbol. We have also removed such symbols from the grammar in the previous examples. So let's come to the definition. The symbols that cannot be used in the derivation due to their unavailability in the production rules or inability in deriving the terminals are known as the useless symbol. So useless symbol cannot derive any terminal string or cannot end with any terminal symbol. So we can always remove such production rules and such non-terminals from the grammar. So if we have the sentential form of this form where we are resulting with this sentential form from the start symbol S, so here ultimately this sentential form is ended with this W, where W is a string of terminal, S and X are the non-terminal, and alpha and beta are the string of terminal non-terminal. So if we can derive X in any sentential form, then we can say that X is useful. But if X cannot derive, if X can appear in sentential form but X cannot derive any string of terminal, even then we can declare this X as useless symbol. But if X can appear in sentential form and can also derive any string of terminals, as W here, W is a string of terminal, so we can declare X as a useful symbol. Okay, otherwise X will be the useless symbol if X cannot appear in sentential form, or if X appear in sentential form but cannot terminate or cannot result in the string of terminal, then X will be the useless symbol. So here are the necessary conditions to check a symbol as useless non-terminal. It should be possible to derive. First condition is it should be possible to derive the sentential form containing X from the start symbol S, means we must be able to derive some sentential form from the start symbol where X may appear. Second condition is that sentential form must derive a string of terminals. Only then we can say that X is useful, otherwise we can declare X as the useless symbol. And if X is useless, then we can remove all the production rules where we are having X in the right hand side. Okay, so let's practice some example for the removal of useless symbols, useless non-terminals, as we have already covered this example in the previous example. So here, as we cannot derive any sentential form from the start symbol S where A and B may appear, A and B cannot appear in any sentential form from the start symbol. So we can say that A and B are useless symbols in this grammar. So we can always remove such production rule, such useless production rules from the grammar. So here is a simplified grammar after removal of useless symbols. Next example is, here we are having S as AS, BS, A and BA. Here the condition is contradictory with the previous example. Here A may appear for any sentential form, means we can have a sentential form where A may appear, but we cannot terminate that sentential form, means here we can have we can use this production rule from the start symbol, or we can say that we can start derivation from the start symbol and we can achieve any sentential form, some sentential form where A may appear, but that sentential form cannot end with the string of terminals, because here we are not having any terminating production rule for this particular non-terminal A. So we can say that A is useless here because A is not terminating with any other fixed terminal, string of terminals, or any other string of terminal, non-terminal. So A is useless here, and we can remove this production rule from the grammar, as this production rule will not lead to any terminating string. So here is a simplified grammar after removal of this particular useless symbol from the grammar. So in next lecture we will be following the normal form of the grammar, and for this lecture, for simplification of grammar, you must follow this sequence only, because the removal of null production may lead to the generation of unit production, and the removal of unit production may lead to the generation of useless symbols. So please follow the steps in sequence only: null production, then unit, and only then you can start removing the useless symbols from the grammar. And in next lecture we will be covering normal form of the grammar. We have two normal form of the grammar: Chomsky normal form and the Greibach normal form, that we will be covering in the next lecture. Till then, take care.